Hello again. My name is Dennis Karstens. I'm a retired lawyer and a novelist. I've written 20 novels that are available on Amazon. But that's not why I'm here today. I've been doing a series of videos to put out there, just kind of giving my opinion about various issues, significant issues of today that we're living with. Today I'm going to talk about education in America. In my lifetime, we have gone from literally the envy of the world as far as our education system was, especially colleges and universities. I mean, people from all over the world tried to send their children here to get educated, especially in college and universities. Well, we've gone from that, from being the envy of the world, to being a pathetic joke, frankly. There's some reasons for it, a lot of reasons, really. Probably the first couple of significant ones is one in 1979, Jimmy Carter decided, wouldn't it be fun to have more government interference in the lives of Americans? So he decided, let's have a Department of Education to do what exactly? I'm not sure anybody really knew. It's about as useless as anything can be. It's a money hole. They just throw $20 billion a year down this thing, and it's a waste of time. It needs to be gone. Local people know what their kids should be educated, and we don't need the federal government, monitoring every aspect of our lives. Okay. More importantly, and I think a bigger detriment has been the teachers' unions. Now, let me be clear about something. I'm not sure people really understand this. The teachers' unions, it is not their job to educate your children. The job of the unions is to protect and advocate on behalf of their membership, the teachers. And what has happened here is they have brought in a lot of deadwood teachers and protected these people to the point where there's some real mediocre teachers in this system. I'll give you just a little example. When my son was in high school, he hated it because it was so boring. He's a smart guy, and the public school system in America is not for the more gifted kids. All right. He would come home and complain about, especially men teachers. And he would say, I can't stand this guy. He's an idiot, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to go to the class. And I would try to tell him, look, you got to do this. Suck it up, buddy. Get in there and do your best. Then I would go to parent-teacher conferences and I would meet these men, or alleged men, okay? And they would tell me, well, your son's really smart and he does really well on the tests, but he doesn't do homework very well. And I would listen to these guys and I'd be thinking, I can understand why you're having problems with him. He's smarter than you, he's quicker on his feet than you, and he's only 15 years old, but he's more of a man than you are. And that's a real problem. You got a lot of people going through college who get halfway through and they don't know why they're there. They have no idea what they're doing in college, so they got to pick a degree program, and far too many of these mediocrities pick teaching, and they end up in our schools. That's a huge problem here, folks. And the unions protect these people, okay? There's a couple things I would do. One, I would decertify unions. I mean, get them out of there. Teachers need to earn their paychecks just like everybody else does. And the deadwood needs to be, put out. It's going to be almost impossible to get rid of the teachers' unions because they own the Democrat Party, but that's something that needs to be done and something that needs to be looked at. Another thing that I would advocate, and I'm dead serious about this, are cameras in every classroom in America. Cameras that are linked to the internet so that parents can go on there and see what their kids are being taught. Now, the teachers will howl, and the professors especially. I'm talking about college too, especially colleges. If your university is getting taxpayer money, then you have an obligation to teach what you're telling us that you're going to teach. If you're teaching math, you're supposed to be teaching math, not socialism, not social justice, not racism. If you want to teach socialism, you want to teach social justice, you want to teach racism, then you put it in the curriculum and you teach the class. Make it an elective. And if the kids want to go to a class on socialism, they can. But you don't force this stuff on them. You leave your own political opinion at the door. And far too many of them are not doing that. And here's the thing, folks, that everybody seems to forget. Well, we should be teaching this, we should be teaching that. There's only a finite number of hours in the day that we can teach kids anything, really. And we've gone away from that. We've gone away from basics. Kids don't get shop anymore. Kids don't get FIAD anymore. They don't get things like, well, I'm not even sure they get study hour times, things like that. They get liberal teachers who are teaching them liberal politics, and that needs to be broadcast to the parents so the parents can do something about it. Now, college tuition, okay? I am not advocating that we repay college tuition for these kids. But here's the deal. All of you out there that think this is just so outrageous because these kids are using the money to go party during spring break and buy beer and have a great time. No, look at the price of tuition. It's nuts. I went to law school. I paid $4,500 a year to go to a private law school. You can't get in, you can't park your car at a university for that much money anymore. It's $70, $80, even $90,000 a year for college tuition. And a lot of you will say, well, let them go to VOTEC schools. Well, that's nice. Here's the deal. I have a grandson at a university, a good school, and I have a grandson at a VOTEC school. They're both going to do just fine. Now, I advocate VOTEC schools. I think they're terrific. But we can't all go to a VOTEC school. We can't all be taught mechanics and plumbing and all that kind of great, and it's great stuff, okay? But whether you like it or not, we need people in college. We need doctors. We need scientists. We need other professors. And like it or not, we need lawyers. We need judges. We need dentists. All of you out there who sit there and say, oh, we don't need lawyers. Of course you do. Wait till you're jammed up with the law sometime. You'll go run into the first lawyer you can find. But those cannot be taught in VOTEC schools. We need colleges and universities. And something has to be done about the enormous cost of tuition. There's no school out there that's worth $90,000 a year. If you're going to pay $400,000 for a degree, you're nuts to do that. It's crazy. But yet nothing's being done about it. And I'll tell you who's to blame for it. Bernie Sanders. This all can be laid right at the feet of Bernie, who, in my estimation, is the dumbest, most ignorant fool in Washington. And believe me, folks, I know there is a lot of competition for that title. But Bernie's got it. This guy is so stupid, I can't believe he can find his way out of a men's room. And his ignorance is just stunning. But Bernie was the one who decided every kid in America should go to college, so let's make tuition available, student loans available to everybody. And that's when tuition skyrocketed. Because like everything else that liberals do, they cannot, will not, ever think things through. Let's give tuition or give student loans to all the kids out there. And that's it. That's as far as they think. They don't think, Well, is this a good idea? What will the effects of this be? What will this cause to happen? No, no, no. We don't think about that. We just think about how good it feels to make us feel good to give college loans to everybody and watch the price of tuition go up. Okay? If you've got a university that's getting taxpayer money, you need to go after them. We need to get them to lower this because this is just crazy. And I'm like, if it was up to me, frankly, I would board up every Ivy League school and turn it into low income housing. It'd probably be worth more than what it is now. They live on their reputation, but there are a lot of other schools out there, good schools, will give you just as good an education as Harvard or Princeton or any of the others. What a student gets out of a university, a college or university education is what they want to get out of it, not some overblown reputation that these people have. Anyway, I've ranted on enough about this. There's one other thing I think we need to bring up here. Our testing is also included we have huge pockets of poverty that Democrats and their liberal followers, especially celebrities, want to keep in poverty. And they've developed the attitude that far too many of them, especially these young black kids, have developed the attitude that getting an education is too white, that speaking proper English is talking white. Where are the leaders in the black community? What are they doing about this? It does no good. I could go down there and talk to these kids. I'm an old man, an old white man. They're not going to listen to me. You got people like James Clyburn who thinks he's doing such a great job because he keeps the welfare money rolling and keeps black America in poverty. And these celebrities like George Clooney, celebrities for Democrats, keep poor people poor and out of my neighborhood. That's what they're really up about. And they don't have to deal with the damage that these people do. They're living above it. So they push Democrat politicians. Anyway, that's a huge problem. These pockets of black kids who think that education is just a waste of their time, and no one's trying to tell them any different, or at least damn few people are. And they grow up thinking what? The government's going to take care of them. Well, and then people complain about capitalism because they don't do well in capitalism. Well, if you want to do well in capitalism, you have to participate. You can't just blow it off as being too white, or or I've got the government to take care of me, or I can have 4 or 5 kids and pour welfare on me. And there's plenty of white people with the same attitude. I'm not picking on black people here, okay? I'm not racist about this stuff, but it's an honest assessment, and no one's talking about it. Enough for today. Thank you, and listen, have a great day. Try to think about things, and think with your head, not your feelings, especially when we vote. I live in Minnesota. Tim Walz he's more liberal than Bernie Sanders, and he's a disaster for this state, okay? Anyway, onward and upward. Thanks again. Have a great day.